Now, as terrified foreigners flee South Africa, in neighboring Botswana, it is a paradise for many immigrants from across the continent.
Many of the foreign nationals living and working there are Kenyans. One such Kenyan abandoned medical practice here in Kenya over 20 years ago, and today she is an entrepreneur and an influential member of that society.
Tonight, our special correspondent Alex Chamoda reports from Botswana on these Kenyans who have chosen to dare dream abroad.
Rachel Wangeshi Muraya was 29 years old when she quit her job as a nurse at the Nairobi hospital in 1994 to join other nurses who are trooping to Botswana for greener pastures. In Kenya then, she was earning 7,000 shillings, and on landing a job in Botswana, her monthly salary went up 7 times to an equivalent of 50,000 shillings.
I was able to afford a car. I was able to live a good life and be able even to go to visit South Africa, which would never have been possible if I was in Kenya.
Fast forward, and Rachel's story is now a tale of a bold transformation from a nurse to an entrepreneur beyond borders. A proud owner of one of the top private primary schools in Gaborone City. Did she have to undergo training in management and education away from nursing?
Administration is part of registered nursing, and that is what I did in my training. So the only thing that I added was the methodology teaching.
Rachel says she began small, using her little savings, but later combining with loans.
I started with the babies, went to the nursery, and then the preschools. That's what we call them here. And it eventually became a primary school. And our main aim is to raise godly children with a purpose.
Hence the name of the school. The school has at least 1,000 children. Here, the primary level goes up to standard 7.
Working in theater, this is where you are having operations, you're operating with doctors. It's blood everywhere. You kind of lose yourself and you become one who is not together with the people. And life becomes like it's nothing. And I thought, I am going to lose it. I wanted to be sane. I wanted to be somebody who can be able to say, how are you, and be happy. Every time you ask somebody in the hospital, how are you? They are sick. What else do you want them to tell you? So I wanted a profession that would give me peace in my heart and that would make me normal. And I thought the children were the best. And indeed, they have changed my life.
Out of a teaching staff of 45, Rachel has employed 15 Kenyan qualified teachers.
Portuguese chicken and many others.
Eric Ondieki teaches English.
Enough rainfall, yes.
Farmers should build small...
Onsarigo Muita, on the other hand, is a science teacher. Most of the teachers in this school are foreigners.
The government pays better. Very good salaries. A government teacher in Botswana very rarely will leave the government to come and work in the private schools.
A Kenyan teacher who earned about 10,000 shillings in Kenya now takes home the equivalent of about 50,000 shillings, including allowances, after joining this school.
My starting salary for the daycare centers is about 2,500. That's 25,000 Kenya shillings. I have a school in Kenya, in Nakuru. The salaries are very low. I get very worried. How are they going to live? They're telling me for a head teacher 15,000 Kenya shillings, which is 1,500. That is the price that I give to a cleaner here.
The local currency, known as the pula, is far much stronger than the shilling. 1 pula is equal to roughly 10 shillings. Botswana, with a population of about 2 million, depends mainly on proceeds from diamonds to run the economy, and the public service is well taken care of thanks to prudent management of resources. Teachers or nurses or doctors' strikes over salaries are rare in Botswana, but common in Kenya.
No, it's the government to pull up and pay the teachers well, because the Kenyan government has more resources than the Botswana government.
However, not all is negative for Kenya.
Kenya definitely has got very high education standards. If you leave Botswana with your child with an A grade from Botswana, it becomes a B in Kenya.
And Kenyan teachers looking for greener pastures may ask, is there room in Botswana?
Botswana has a lot of opportunities, but the only problem is the resident permit and the work permit. You have 90 days in any country to be able to do your paperwork. And if you don't get a residence permit or work permit within that time, it becomes very difficult because you really have to get out of the country. But the opportunities in Botswana are many. I personally, as we speak, I don't have any space for anybody. So if anybody comes today, I don't have a space for a teacher because I am full.
Many Kenyans are able to excel abroad even without forfeiting their Kenyan citizenship.
Most of us, when we are here, our aim is to develop home. We are able to buy plots and we are able to build. By the time we come out of here, because one day we shall end up going back home, not now, but at least when we become a little bit old, we do not want to go home and beg.
Statistics indicate that there are over 3 million Kenyans in the diaspora. Those who are registered with the High Commission in Botswana are 5,000. Statistics further indicate that Kenyans living abroad send home annually over 200 billion shillings. And it is because of that significance that the Kenyan government now has a diaspora policy to incorporate them in marketing Kenya, in skills and knowledge transfer, and in investment back home.
I'm often encouraged by the amount of goodwill that the Botswana have towards Kenyans, because they say, you know, if in every sector here, if you look at the Meat Commission, they talk about Kenyans. If you look at the Botswana housing sector, they talk about Kenyans.
The capacity building efforts of Botswana to create a bureaucracy that can effectively deliver were helped greatly by the numbers of Kenyans that came in. The very first chairman of Botswana Public Service Salaries Commission, or the Salaries Commission, was a Kenyan.
Say hi, Alex. Hi, Alex. Hi. Once upon a time, Kenyans who left the country for greener pastures abroad were vilified as being unpatriotic and contributing to brain drain. But now, the story has changed to that of brain gain when Kenyans excel abroad, as their achievements are felt back home. Rachel is definitely one of them. For KTN, I'm Alex Chamwada.